It is an all-Scottish final between Cameron Menzies and Peter Wright here at the Mattioli Arena in Leicester for Players' Championship 11. If you don't succeed, try again. That is the Menzies method. A semi-final last week was followed by a final. He lost out to Josh Rock, and he's playing Josh Rock's conqueror today in the form of Peter Wright. Two brilliant wins for him against Rock, and then Gary Anderson in the semi-final. Two awesome games of darts, great performances. It should be a very watchable affair between the always frenzied Menzies and the more calm Peter Wright, two-time world champion, who has not won a Players' Championship event for more than 3 years. He has not been to a final for 2.5 years. Can he end his long drought today, Niall? Or will Cammy win his second ever senior PDC title?
Bullseye.
Well, you mentioned the Menzies mantra.
25. Cameron's won the ball.
And finals becoming more of a regular occurrence for Cameron Menzies by virtue of even reaching this Scottish showdown here in Leicester has moved to the top of the Players' Championship Order of Merit. 40 grand in prize money. Could be more if he can see off Snakebite, who, as you say, is
100.
chasing a first Players' Championship win in ages. You mentioned how these days you need to have stamina to go the distance, and Peter Wright has increased in performance on his way through today's affairs. He was on the back foot against Dobie, came through that, and then the aforementioned 2 games are absolute barnstormers.
140.
Can he do it one more time here against Menzies, who's been bright throughout the day?
11 wins from his last 13 games in this venue for Cameron Menzies. And it was the Mattioli Arena where he did pick up that first title last year. One of 6 players to beat Stephen Bunting in a final.
59.
Peter Wright first to a finish against the darts.
Well, treble would have left him the bullseye.
137.
Back in the treble 20. Leaves a handy 24.
.96.
So Peter Wright looking for the first leg and a breaker throw.
Game shot.
Plants it. Early lead for Peter Wright and an early break as well, of course. Race to 8 in the final.
Wright's last title success came on the European Tour last year.
140.
You mentioned the word barnstormer, Niall. That game against Luke Littler in Hildesheim took barnstorming to a different level.
60.
Littler was obliterating him, but Wright managed to reel off a succession of legs. You just don't know what you're going to get from Peter Wright these days. If he averages 110
100.
or if he averages 80, you are surprised neither way.
Yeah, the sliding scale of Peter Wright's form
93.
can somewhat leave it difficult to predict. What you do know is he's got the experience that maybe Cameron Menzies doesn't have. Menzies is still growing, whereas Peter Wright, of course, has been there at the highest level of the game and achieved. Although that being said, going back to your earlier point about Menzies in Leicester, I wonder how much venues
60.
do play a part in these darts players' thoughts. I'm good at this venue. I play well here. I've won here. Is that maybe a factor
65.
in Menzies' recent displays?
Possibly so, but
140.
it is. It's not working for him here. Double 20 for double 18. Persisted with the treble 20.
56.
Had the option of going 2 doubles.
Just about pressure now for Menzies in this leg.
56.
Maybe not quite applying enough. Has his eyes locked on tops, Peter Wright, and now will transition to 10s.
20.
Well, he's a good distance away with those 2 darts. Double 18.
Game shot.
Double 18 he finds. Wright gave Cameron an opening. The two just exchanging smirks with each other. 1-1.
Magnificent recovery from Cameron Menzies.
97.
And the longer Menzies' career goes on, the more he'll feel that he belongs at this
140.
level, truly. He's always had the talent. The question is, does he have the temperament? He's showing more often that he does. It's now a case of getting
96.
over that winning line more often.
Yeah, we were discussing previously that wearing his heart on his sleeve is an apt but yet not quite
140.
accurate description of Cameron Menzies. He's another level above that in terms of wearing his emotions on his face, on his sleeve. He wears them everywhere.
138.
He's authentic and true to himself, and he's a character, and that's what we like. He's left himself the big fish after 9 darts.
65.
And he hit the big fish. He did against Josh Rock in the final last week.
145.
Fails to do so against his compatriot.
Another one for double 18 for Peter Wright. Well, it was nestled nicely in the treble 20.
85.
Decided to follow it with a further 2, but couldn't do so. So 9 for double 8 for Cameron Menzies and a 2-1
Game
lead.
shot.
And it's a 2-1 lead that he does establish. So hold of throw and back-to-back legs for the 35-year-old Scot.
Right,
100.
out-averaging Menzies, but Menzies has hit those doubles when it's mattered.
180.
First maximum for Cameron Menzies in the final of Players' Championship 11 here at the Mattioli Arena
100.
in Leicester. He's followed it with another excellent dart.
140.
Having dug through the archives, I make it the last time we had an all-Scottish final, March 2018.
40.
Gary Anderson and Peter Wright. Anderson actually whitewashed Wright that day. That was in Barnsley.
81.
Well, I can't admit to have done as much digging as you, but supposedly only the
100.
second time in a PDC event that we've had 3 Scottish players in the semi-final.
Game shot.
Good stuff from Cameron Menzies. Efficient finishing in the way he's displayed for much of today in Leicester. Did have a bit of a wobble in the semi-final where he was chasing around the board a little bit. Double 18 and
97.
double 9 a few times were causing him a bit of a headache, but so far, after being broken in the first leg and going 1-0 down, he's just reeled off 3 on the spin, Dan, and he's in a good position here in this final.
100.
Win here, as you mentioned, Niall. Well, it was the semi-final win that saw him go top of the
78.
Players' Championship finals list. Win here would put him 11th overall in the Pro Tour list. For some weeks now, had we been operating under the old qualification format, Cameron Menzies would be a seeded
60.
player on the Euro Tour. He has been banging form over the past 12 months. And this
180.
performance is showing exactly why.
180s in back-to-back legs now for Cameron Menzies. Peter Wright looking to fire in one of his own.
135.
Double 16 for Cameron Menzies.
Game
Superb
shot.
stuff from the Scotsman. That is what he has shown in recent times. That is what he has shown right here in Leicester. Not just this week, but last. And he's 4-1 up on Peter Wright in this final.
77.
Cameron Menzies is halfway to victory.
140.
Just a second ever PDC senior title. Has he got Wright on the ropes?
180.
Well, that suggests maybe not.
Well, Menzies still
140.
holds the advantage in the maximum count, but it's the general score we're looking at here with Cammy 4-1 up. Peter Wright
100.
can surge and string together consecutive legs. We've seen him do that today alone, let alone throughout his career.
134.
Worrying times for Peter Wright. Leaves 144 after 9 darts. And ultimately may have needed to take it.
120.
Smart setup, but Menzies eyes up treble 17. Now double 18.
Game
This is
shot.
wonderful from Cameron Menzies. It's an 11 dart leg. It's another break of throw. He is tearing into the 2-time champion of the world.
Cameron Menzies, after
81.
going 1-0 down, has broken back to level the score. He's held his throw to make it 2-1. He's gone 180, 140, ton finish. 146 to make it 4-1, and now an 11 dart break to make it 5-1. You're
97.
going to show your best darts in a final. Why not do it averaging 108 against a 2-time world champion, checking out seemingly everything that comes your way?
85.
He has missed 1 dart at double, and that was for a big fish.
Pretty good then. That's what you're telling me. Pretty good.
140. 40. 180.
Oh, look at that for grouping. Could have thrown another 9 darts in there.
180s in back-to-back legs now for Peter Wright.
100.
But he's 4 legs back. Needs this for a break. Well, he was walking. Come back, Peter. Come back. It's not the big fish, but
Game
it's
shot.
the big 12. Well, good sportsmanship between the pair of them. 2 Scotsmen having a laugh, and Peter Wright finding the dart required to get another leg on the board.
Well, there's the thing with Menzies. He could be
91.
averaging 120 and bulldozing anyone in sight. He could be averaging 60. He would still play with a smile on his face.
140.
He's fast becoming one of the most popular players on tour.
'83. 100.
It's the way he often talks to himself and G's himself up between every dart, Cameron Menzies. If he's not
100.
saying it, he's certainly thinking it.
'91. 180.
Right, looking at back-to-back legs. 3 180s in 3 legs. Menzies has had a go at 170. Doesn't get as far
60.
into it this time.
Tops then for Peter Wright.
Game shot.
Just starting to creep, isn't he, Peter Wright? Slowly clambering his way back towards Cameron Menzies, who's on throw and kicking off the
180.
next leg with a 180. Indicative of how he's played in this final so far.
That is 5 4-visit legs in a row.
$123. $84.
Yeah, that's hard to live with. Doesn't matter how many world championships you've won, how many times you played on the biggest stage. If you're winning games of darts, that's
97.
almost impossible to stay even with your opponent.
95. $140.
No, he's going bullseye. I thought he was going to be tempted to stay
102.
on treble 20. Yes, double 11's no one's favourite, but the lie of the first dart was so good. This could be a tide turner.
He was just tempting Peter Wright, wasn't he?
130.
Well, Peter Wright leaves himself 11. Cameron
Game
Menzies
shot.
leaves himself tops. And tops he takes out. And he is now 2 legs away from Players' Championship glory. Barely anything in the averages, but 3 legs the difference between the two players. You mentioned Cameron Menzies. He's been relentless. He's been ruthless.
46. $180.
Kicks off the 10th leg with a 180.
$57.
He's in again.
140.
An unfortunate deflection. That looked destined to be another 180. Now Wright is in.
140.
He also isn't able to fill up the treble with all 3.
$93.
Cameron Menzies has left 88 after 9 darts. Shouldn't be surprised though, because that's what he's shown leg after leg after leg in this final so far.
42.
I thought he'd be going back for that treble 16. Instead, leaves double 14.
80.
Wise call, Cammy.
$180.
Good pressure applied by Peter Wright. Good decision to split for Menzies. He caused himself a bit of bother by not doing
Game
so
shot.
in the semi-final. But he's learned from those errors in the previous game. And he's found himself now within 1 leg of glory. 7-3 he leads, and he has the darts as well.
It is simply a case of getting the job done.
135.
No 180, but that's a good start.
Over 3 years since
57.
Peter Wright last won a Players' Championship event, the wait will go on. Cameron Menzies, a much shorter time frame between successes.
140.
And you get the feeling if he can continue to show this sort of form throughout the rest of the year and beyond, it certainly won't be his last.
97. $135.
That is a hat-trick of 2 treble visits. Cameron Menzies is on the brink of a second Players' Championship title.
140.
He has 6 darts for it. Treble 17. Double top. Now the 10s.
81.
He'll be back. He'll be back for double 5. Bit of gamesmanship maybe from Peter Wright. He's a long way back on 207. Now it's just 202. Back over to you, Cammy, then.
Correct. 87.
It's stressful being Cameron Menzies. Straight at double five.
Game shot
And
on the
Cammy
match.
is
Cameron
mad for
Menzies.
it in Leicester. In the All-Scottish battle, it is Scotland Junior that takes out the two-time champion of the world, Peter Wright, with a marvellous performance, averaging over 107 in the final. He has been stupendous on the floor in the past year, and that is a second title. Peter Wright can be proud of his displays all day, but the wait for a Players' Championship event goes on over 3 years now. Cameron Menzies has beaten Peter Wright by 8 legs to 3.
Sorry, buddy.
Apologise, mate.
You by there, as long as they get us both in.
I like Leicester, by the way.
That was going to be my first question.
Sorry, man. Let's go, let's do it. Right, let's do
Cammy, many, many congratulations. Leicester very much is a happy hunting ground for you, isn't it?
Yes, boy. I think that's 2 finals, 2 wins, a couple of semis. I don't know what to say because I thought the first one was lucky to win. This one, I just kind of didn't want to be the. I won the first one, and I didn't want that to be like a lucky one, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
To win 2, aye man, I'm buzzing because it just proves it wasn't wasn't luck. If that makes sense.
Peter gave you some very kind words there at the
Peter's
end. Peter's
great, man, honestly. See, because Peter goes back donkeys before even me. Peter played darts with my dad and that. And even when I played the first time when I played the Grand Slam before I was even like PDC and stuff, like Peter took me to the side and played finishes with me, and he remembered my dad, so he played counties with my dad. So Peter's been brilliant with me over the last couple of years, and honestly, the respect I've got for him. Even I'm quite lucky, but the Scottish guys like Gary, Peter, even guys who may not be on the tour like Hendo and Robert Thornton, like we're quite lucky that way because these guys are all supportive, and yeah, we're lucky that way because they do support us in every possible way. So Peter Wright's one of them.
It's been a good day for Scottish darts, hasn't it? 3 of you in the semi-finals.
I know. 3 out of 4, you've got a good chance of one's going to win.
What was the difference, by the way? Because I watched it in your semi-final against Niels, where you were chasing doubles around the board, it seemed. What was the difference in those 7-8 minutes between that and this match?
Mate, it's darts though. That's just darts. I don't know. I didn't go and practice. I didn't go and do nothing else. It's sometimes when you start missing, the doubles start getting smaller, or you start chasing. Like I hate chasing, and as in like when you go like below treble 20, below treble 8. When you're playing well, you're fast, especially when I play. Like Phil Taylor's opposite for me. He would understack. So me, I need my dart above it or top of the wire, which is perfect. But if I start dropping short, I'm doing the whole. I hate chasing, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that does that. Like when you start chasing, you know you're not playing well because you're dropping that little, maybe half an inch slower. It's sometimes just a tension in your arm. Like it's the same with the best players in the world. That half inch just changes your whole game, but that's just nerves and tension. But that's just why we play darts and stuff, because if it was all easy, we'd all be like world champions and stuff.
Exactly,
but that's the way it is.
Third final this year.
Yes,
what
mate.
did you learn from those previous 2 finals that you brought here into this one?
Don't get beat. No, I'm joking. No, I'll be honest with you, it was on my head a little bit. Like I'll be honest with you, if I played in the final a few times this year and didn't win a tour card, a tour event, I wouldn't be too disheartened because my first 2 years I'd done nothing, like as in that depth. So if you get to the final, you're doing something wrong. Yes, you want to win Pro Tours, and I'm ecstatic to win my second because my first one was obviously a lot to me. Meant absolute everything. Sorry, Gary. But to win my second one, he's won a cheese. But to win a second one proves it wasn't luck. If that makes sense. So that was to me means a lot because it wasn't luck. I feel like I'm not good enough yet, but I'm going the right direction.
Am I right in saying you need to thank the M1 today as well?
Yeah, I was late. I phoned up Keith and I phoned up the manager and I phoned up Graham. I was like, a good chance I might, because you get a time limit between 9 and 11 to be registered. I was like, I might be 10, 20 minutes late because there was a bad crash on the M1 and whoever was on the M1 crash and stuff, and the ambulance and stuff, I really hope they're okay because clearly it was bad because it happened on the southbound, but they shut the northbound because obviously it was a motorbike, but I'm guessing the person obviously landed on the other side, but it was an air ambulance and stuff, so I was stuck there for 2 hours. I was like, I'm not going to make it, but I phoned up the PDC and I said to him, I was like, there's a good chance I might be slightly late. I made it on time, but as long as you're kind of reasonable with them, they might give you like a 20-minute, but which is like Keith and stuff, might give you that wee kind of leeway as long as you're making the effort. It was not like I was stuck in the house. I took pictures to prove that I was actually on my way, but yeah, it was a bad accident at M1, but hopefully the person who was in the accident is okay.
Final question from me is all about confidence this game. How much confidence are you going to have now, especially coming into tomorrow?
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you, I might pull up tomorrow. The reason is I'm quitting my job soon.
Yeah.
And I'm taking darts full time soon because I'm in a situation right now which is a good situation. So I'm going to ask the supervisor if I can work tomorrow and Thursday. I forget days because I'm so much travel.
Wednesday,
right,
tomorrow, yeah.
Sorry, so I'm going to travel home Wednesday. I'm going to work Thursday, Friday, but I'm quitting my job to take darts full time because it is generally crazy. And I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to pull it tomorrow. I'm going to make the decision in the next couple of hours. But I feel like I don't want to because I'll win one. But I feel like
well, hopefully the boss is not watching yet.
Yeah, no, but the boss, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them because they have supported me massively, and I'm only quitting because I'm not there anymore. I've had 1 day's work in the last 8 weeks, but that's because my dart career's kicking off, which obviously is my dream, so I can't win.
And it's going to be a big help today. Cameron Menzies, Players Championship winner. Many congratulations.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you for your company. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Top man.
Well done, buddy. Congratulations.